with Bungie because that's the hot topic, man. And these people got caught stealing, and it's
shit. I can't tell. It's
actually
a hot
amazing.
topic. Everybody Bungie videos flopped, didn't it?
No,
mine didn't do as well as I thought. But yeah,
I didn't make one.
Prove that minorities aren't the only ones that steal.
Proof. Yep.
That's crazy.
So
Holy shit.
let's get into it. So everybody's kind of reacted to this already, and everybody's kind of talked about it, but I want to get kind of the collective thoughts on what went down and what essentially caused probably one of the most viral reaction photos that I've ever personally uploaded ever, which again, this is like hold on, sorry. This is yeah, I mean, this I'm telling you, this face should be the mascot for any time you are just tired of the internet. I think it just speaks volumes.
Damn.
It really just says a lot about the situation.
Oh, yeah.
This is the face of somebody who got yelled at by their bosses. This is the face of somebody who
I disagree.
Optimism.
Call me crazy. I feel like this is just me thinking, but this is
Why do you think? Stop that.
this is the face of someone who got caught and they're trying to pawn it off on someone else.
I don't know. He just looks over it, dude.
This comment's great. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I would play the song if I would have get copyrighted.
If you look back at the VOD, he was looking at the chat the whole time. So he was just watching everybody fry his ass
the whole time.
Oh my god, it was glorious. It was beautiful.
So. I mean, for anybody, just before we get into the conversation, for anybody who may not know, and I don't know how you don't know by now, but if you don't know, essentially what happened is there was an artist that we're going to bring up in a couple of seconds, that their art from 2007, they made like these cyberpunk style posters in 2017. They even had their own logo, like their brand logo on the poster as one of the icons. And basically what happened was Bungie took those graphics and imported it into Marathon and used them for their cyberpunk style video game. Some are even arguing now, by looking back at the work, that damn near the entire game is inspired by this artist, it seems like. Some people are asking in the chat, who is this guy? So this is Joseph Cross. This is the head art director over at Bungie's Marathon video game. So he's the one that's in charge of anything art related that goes in or out of the game. So this is why he was the one who was on that live stream. Plus he was with the game director at the time, who we'll showcase in a second. And they got together on a live stream, not to necessarily discuss this. They got together to this was planned supposedly to go over some of the gameplay footage and whatnot. But the funny thing is, because of what happened with the art theft, they actually had to scrap all of the gameplay footage they were going to show on the live stream. And they only took questions supposedly, but they really didn't take questions. They had pre-planned questions that they were going over, but we'll get into that too. So this is Mr. Cross, and the reason why he's also relevant is because for years he's been following the artist on Twitter that got their stuff stolen from, which is a big red flag amongst other Bungie people too, by the way, not just him, but
right.
yeah,
But this is the director, the guy in charge, and it's like, you gotta know. I mean, how stupid do you think people are to be like, bro, take my word, it's this no-name person that used to work here. They're not here anymore, and it slipped through the cracks. It's like bullshit. Who was it?
Does anybody here actually believe that, by the way? Just
I don't know.
No,
there's no way.
Why can't if you are so sure it's someone that you're not going to get sued for it, why can't you name the person that provided the content? Name it so that people know who it was in the future. Why are we not being transparent about this? Why are we letting the person get a job in the industry somewhere else if they stole shit and lied about it? This needs to be out there. Someone needs to know who it was.
Yeah, my favorite implication here is that Bungie is so broke they can't afford artists. It's like Bungie out there just be like, just steal some shit. No one's gonna fucking know. We don't have the money for this.
Don't they have like a bunch of artists though? Like 100?
They got a bunch of artists, but I'm just pissed that they're not telling people who it was.
Well, Andreas was gonna say something about that. What's wrong with? Well,
I was gonna say it could be the possibility that they don't want to name the person because it could open them up for some sort of lawsuit. If that
from the person or just like,
regardless,
it could.
Wait, hold on. From the person, or are you saying like from the person? Like if they dox the person,
if there is a person who actually stole it, and then they for whatever reason fired them, and then the company named them like, oh yeah, it wasn't our fault, it was this person. Well, this person is a representation of your company, so if you put all the liability on them and publicly name them, and they never able to get a job again because of that, it might open you up to a
Well,
lawsuit.
they shouldn't get a job again if they stole all the shit
that
from
guy.
If you would have let me finish, I was going to say it doesn't mean that they're going to win the lawsuit, but still, it's going to cost you all the legal fees and stuff like that.
Even if you win a lawsuit, you still lose money. So
yeah,
look, if you're stealing shit, if you're stealing from somebody else's hard work like an artist, you don't have a leg to stand on at this point. Throw him under the bus. Yeah, this person, he was stealing from this other artist that actually did
people
the
get
work.
sued for less.
Man,
I mean,
look,
I'm on your side, DA. I agree with that, but the only issue with that whole perspective is that the internet isn't the legal system. The legal system, like you can bring that up to them, they'll still be like that means nothing in the court of law.
Exactly.
I don't know how you lose that court. How do you lose that court? Like, how do you lose in court with that?
Because you're a representation of the company. So like, yeah, you did it, but there's some type of legal jargon into where like you don't see companies ever do this where they'll throw an employee under the bus no matter how wrong they are. I'm pretty sure that's for a legal reason. Otherwise, why would companies take the rap heat for something an employee did? Like, for example, Bud Light, if we would have never known from that video that lady took, you know what I'm saying that, hey, I'm doing this.
Wait, what lady are you talking about?
The lady who was the entire reason why Bud Light lost.
Oh, the CEO bitch.
What? I'm sorry, sir. What lady are you talking about? What lady, sir? That was a dude.
No, not Dylan Mulvaney. He's talking about the CEO, the chick.
Okay. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, if there would have never been no video of her, Bud Light never reveals her identity, no matter how much.
You're talking about Alyssa Hernerscheid, right? Is that her name?
I guess so. The horse face bitch.
The horse face, right?
Yeah, her.
Damn.
I got the picture. I'll bring it up. Hold on.
At least we know now why it doesn't look like a Bungie game. Okay?
That's her.
That's her, Atreus. That one.
Yeah, right.
All right, go ahead. Continue what you were saying. I'm just making sure.
No, I was just gonna say if she never has that video, there's zero chance that Bud Light ever reveals her identity and reveals she's the reason why we're tanking right now, right?
Yep.
So
go ahead.
No, you good.
I was about to say it looked like somebody tried to draw the Pink Ranger from memory.
That's fucking wild, bro.
Boring.
You need to repent for that one. So really quick. So this is the artist, anti-real, I think is what they go by. N2 or N squared, whatever, on Twitter. And this post just keeps going, right? So when I made my video about Bungie last night that released today, the post I believe was at 7.7 million views, if I'm not mistaken. Around maybe almost close to 8. It's now almost at 10 million views. This thing is going massively viral. And I gotta be honest with you, I really do think this is going to affect the game.
100%.
In more ways than anything else could have, because we were talking about Marathon probably when it first revealed, right, a couple of weeks ago, a few weeks ago, whatever,
like a month ago.
And when we first talked about it, I think I was one of the people saying that not that the game's going to do well, but just that the game is going to be, I think, okay because of the built-in fan base that Bungie has. And they're pretty loyal. They're a little bit loyal to a fault, like most hardcore fan bases. But I've been seeing some people who are just flat out saying, "Listen, I was going to buy this game because I'm a big Bungie fan, but I feel dirty almost supporting the game unless something happens, unless they support the artist or whatever." Seeing a lot of comments like that, and of course, maybe it could be trolls, who knows, but I don't really think so. I think this will actually hurt the game more than anything.
Astrocross, right? He's a big Destiny 2 YouTuber. I've watched him for years. Even he's like, yeah, I can't defend this shit. This is terrible. Like, you're stealing from this artist. You've already, the Destiny 2 player base is already not messing with Bungie because of all the dumb stuff they've been doing to the game. So when you go and do this, it's like, oh, you already had the gameplay that looked uninspiring and nobody really cared about it. But now we found out that you stole your entire aesthetic from an indie artist and didn't even give them credit or pay them or anything. Yeah, they're not going to defend that at all. So I think it's going to do way more damage than just the gameplay reveal did.
Even Young did a negative video on this shit
Every
today.
video that nigga do is negative.
not
Let me go on my soapbox for a minute. I love how we get a rap sheet for always covering negative shit. That nigga is Mr. Negative, like literally in every way. He's Asian and everything. God damn. Nigga makes every video that nigga makes is negative.
My understanding is
them Asians, aren't you, Atreus?
Asians catching
my
strays right now. What
is
the
that
hell?
this is my understanding is this is Bungie's like modus operandi. Like they do this shit all the fucking time.
Yeah, this is
and they never get called out for it. They never lose for it. And at some point in time, like, does this shit stop, or are they just going to continue to do what they've been doing?
Did you?
Because it seems like they just do this shit all the fucking time.
Sony bought Bungie for $3.6 billion and put all their eggs in one basket for this game after Destiny for their next moneymaker. And it is DOA. This story is going to go down as one of the biggest stories of 2025. I don't think people are giving it enough credit right now for how crazy this is. This is the biggest PR disaster of epic proportions that any company could ever be dealing with before a game even comes out. And they are losing everything. And this is on top of, hold on, this is on top of After Concord from Firewalk Studios, another Sony-owned studio, where they paid upwards reportedly of $400+ million to get that game out, plus whatever they paid for Firewalk Studios, which was undisclosed. So there could have been upwards of $800 to $1 billion for Concord, back to back. Like, holy shit, this is insanity.
So there was an article written back in September of 2023 from PlayStationLifestyle.net. And the title is Sony believes Bungie acquisition is more valuable than Activision's. And I'm just laughing my fucking ass off.
To be fair, it's not like it's not like Microsoft is like doing the best with Activision.
Oh no, not at all.
They're making insane amounts of money after the Activision Blizzard King deal, whether we noticed it or not. It's a lot of it is through a lot of things that we don't even we don't even
like the mobile games.
They're making an immense amount of profit from that acquisition.
Real quick. Let me ask Smash JT. How much is it to buy an artist? Like, is it that fucking expensive for them to just?
The problem is,
why not just buy this fucking artist?
The people that they're hiring are not just morally bankrupt people, but they are creatively bankrupt people, and they want to take credit for other people's work. So these companies are hiring people with an ideology. They're lazy as fuck, and they're trying to find the quickest way possible to get the work done without paying the actual original creative people that do the work. So that's why people and gamers and everyone is pushing back, because what's this, the 5th time they've been caught stealing shit? And this is not just a poster, like Hypnotic was saying. This is an aesthetic of the game, everywhere in the game, down to the last finite detail, including, I saw Madam Savvy talking about how they also were sampling music from the person. I'm like, holy shit, did they not steal anything from this person? Like, what did they forget? Everything is here from this other person. There's nothing original at all in this game.
What did the other artists
right here
yeah, we also got their social security number, the credit card info. Like,
This right here is damning, bro. Look at this. This is the logo of Anti-Real. Their actual logo. So Anti-Real put their logo in the poster. The right side of this, the yellow part of this, is their poster. And that's their logo on the bottom. And then over here, I mean, it's right fucking there in the game.
And that's the thing that blows my mind. They didn't even try to alter it. Like, let's take it and then kind of like add our own fling to it. Nah, they just straight up.
That's someone who thinks they're untouchable. Like they flat out thought they were untouchable, that nobody was going to notice. Right? How are you the company who has done this 3 times before, has gotten caught 3 times before, and you're on your 4th try? Like, yeah, nobody's going to notice this time. What the? Are you serious right now? Like,
they just don't give a fuck. It's as simple as that.
There's no way this could sneak through, because this takes work, days and months and years to put these posters and works together. This doesn't just magically appear one day. So whoever provided this content, there should have been someone, the art director, the guy that was the one looking like the sad face that you showed there, he should have been the one checking the progress as the game development goes. Oh, what did you complete today? Oh, this, oh, that. Like, you don't just get this overnight. There's no way they didn't know. That's impossible.
Can we get Kata back in here, Hypno?
Kata's literally on the bottom, bro.
He's right there.
Yeah,
I was waiting. I didn't see you. You're that small.
He little motherfucker. He hard to admit.
Oh my god. Yo,
hold
on.
Did y'all talk about the fact that even she put like little Easter eggs into all of her artwork, and that is in the game. Like it's like a carbon copy of her shit in the game, and it's like there's no way you can excuse and say, "Oh, we didn't do this on purpose." You took everything. Like y'all said, it's everything, dude. Like
you took everything from me. I don't even know who you are.
Did y'all know that one of the artists that they stole from, said in 2024 that they were never compensated, even though Bungie publicly said they was going to compensate them for it?
Yeah, just saw that today, actually.
Wow.
Cool. I'm sure it ends up being a conversation between Bungie legal and whoever the art got stolen
and that's
from.
why I want to say for this person, for anti-real, for them to say like I don't have the energy to sue them. No, you need to sue them because there's evidence that they will not.
I think they will. I said last night when I was talking about this that this is a lottery ticket that you just made it in life. You can go buy a private island, buy a private jet. You just made all the money in the world right now.
Because
I will steal your
team.
identity and sue them for you, bro. Like I'm black.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
it's a woman, so you're gonna have trouble with that one.
They took your whole identity and put it into a video game. Like you have all the grounds to do whatever you need to, and I'm pretty sure people would support you. Like, don't be like, no, I don't want to do that. Take all they shit and then some, okay? Because they deserve it. This is
what's sad? What's sad is that when Marathon was revealed, everybody was making fun of how the game looked, the art style, and it was basically they were calling it like uninspired and whatnot. And then come to find out it's because they stole it from someone else.
Very inspired.
Exactly. That's the point I made. This isn't a Bungie game because it's all stolen.
Hypno, real quick.
I'm pretty sure that actually does make it a Bungie game. This is a pattern of behavior.
There's another one to show too. Sorry, go ahead, Leon.
No, Ryan was saying this isn't a Bungie game because it's all stolen. I said, no, that's exactly what makes it a Bungie game because this is a pattern of behavior. This is the fourth or fifth time. Like
fourth fucking time.
Fourth
time,
that you know of, by the way. That you know of.
That we know of. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Scroll down to the brilliant.
I didn't even
right there. That one.
The fact that there could be more artists that are not on the internet.
Yep.
Look at that. Look at that. They faded away what they wrote.
Oh my god, they erased anti-real well, they didn't erase it, they faded it. You're right.
Yep.
Anti-real daily series, bro.
The whole name.
Like
that's fucking crazy.
This company should not exist. It should be exterminated for stuff.
But you multi-million-dollar fucking company. Why are you stealing from a random artist on Twitter?
Because they are hiring activists that don't have talent. It's the same.
My thing is, when is Sony gonna do something? Because it's like, bro, since they bought Bungie, it has been nothing but problems with them. They have been nothing but a fucking pain in the balls.
Really? Like, Cassie, you actually when Sony, the company's been hacked like 5 fucking times, is gonna do something. They can't even get their own shit together. They're gonna get their subsidiaries together.
Well, see, I think part of the reason why they bought Bungie was to shit on Xbox anyway. Like the company that made your flagship title, we're gonna buy them since you want to buy up everything, and then we're gonna use them against you. Well, congratulations.
It's been a massive failure.
For you.
You played yourself.
Bro, this is wild, man. Because again, this is not even inspiration. This is just literally a 1-for-1.
Yep.
You cannot excuse this at all.
Yep. You can take something and make it your own. That's one thing. Okay. Atreus had a show called 30 Carats, and I made reality-based 30 Carats as a fucking laugh, with actual carrots. Smash was there for that show. But it's another thing to just straight up take something and just copy paste it into your efforts. That needs to be exposed. That needs to be destroyed.
Fact.
That's why I said previously.
What
concerns me?
right.
It goes to show like
you know what makes this go away? A bigger problem. And that's what concerns me is Sony's looking at this like we need to make a bigger problem right now to make this go away. That's what I'm waiting for.
It just becomes
It just goes to show like the lack of creativity, like Ryan is saying, the lack of creativity that a lot of these companies have. They don't know how to create. They don't have creative people on deck where they can go to them and say, hey, we need a new game. We need a new this. We need a new that. They don't have those guys in house. All right.
All the most creative people are starting their own studios
off of other people.
All the most creative people are starting their own studios. That's how you got Expedition 33.
It's bullshit, man. It's like all of these top companies that everybody's funneling money to. Like all of these cats are funneling money, all of these big companies, and these cats, they suck. They suck at what they're supposed to be good at. It wows me out, man. Same thing with Hollywood. It wows me out. These guys do not have the creative backbone to go out there and do something risky and something original.
They're
like go out there and do something that's you don't have to steal from everybody around you. You actually have creative backbone of your own. Like that to me is crazy, man.
But to add to that, DA, then you got indie games like Mouse PI coming out, all hand drawn, all 100, like an indie game taking the world by storm. That everyone's like, "Yo, I'm looking forward to this." That's gonna absolutely clown on the AAA scene, 100%. Like you could tell the love, the art, everything put into that by who knows a team of how many fucking developers. But ain't no goddamn AAA. It's like, how did we get to the point where AAA was just like letting indies dance on you, just style? It's insane, and I love it.
Smash JT just told you. He just told you all the passion is at the indie studios, bro.
Yep.
They got
and that's why they're leaving. That's why, like you said, Expedition 33, they left Ubisoft because they're like, fuck this place. I want to actually be creative and make my game. Like
they literally said we were bored. And so like when you hire, and that's what is it that they were hiring activists, or is it that all the creatives were leaving and so they had no choice but to hire the activists? I don't know. But either way,
chicken or the egg, which one?
That's a good question, man. That's a good question.
If you want some irony, you know, it's amazing because Expedition 33 was formed by former Ubisoft developers who left, and Ubisoft just recently got caught stealing art too.
Yep.
They stole the flag design from the Sekigahara Corps in Japan for Assassin's Creed Shadows, and the sword, amongst other things too. They probably did like 3 or 4 in that game alone.
So is it that a lot of these people, a lot of these creatives, maybe they were demanding more money, maybe they was demanding more rights, and they were doing this copy and cut because Ubisoft been making the same game with a different name for years, right? And so they took a gamble. They said, "Listen, we don't need you guys. We can train because we're blowing up." Remember, gaming started blowing up with the microtransactions and the expansions and stuff. And so with all the money floating in, they're like, "Hey, listen, we can train people to do what you do." So they let all the more experienced and more creative people who were passionate about it leave, go and make their own studios. And then they said, "We're going to bring in all these weirdos, you know what I'm saying? All these millennials, these Gen Zers to replace you." And it's backfiring. Maybe. I don't know.
I think it's interesting because I would want to know how long this person knew about this, the artist. I don't know if they just found out. Because I find the timing to be ironic. Because the game's about to come out in it was supposed to come out in 4 months, right? Something like that.
They delayed all their all their marketing push for all this stuff. They even delayed like the betas and stuff.
Yeah, because
people probably going to delay this game to next year.
People were asking them. They were answering, the fake questions in the chat, which we're going to get into in a second. They were answering fake questions about gameplay and whatnot, and most of the answers was, "Yeah, we have plans. We don't know right now, or maybe we'll do this." Maybe there was a lot of no direct answers to the point where people were saying in the chat, "Bro, your game's about to release in 4 months. What the fuck you mean you don't know? Like, what do you mean you don't know what's going on? What do you mean you don't know whether or not you're gonna do X? Like, you should have answers for they had answers for nothing, and your game's coming out in 4 months." So that brings me to the next question. I'm gonna bring up another screen. Delay or no delay? We thinking the game gets delayed a year or so?
It has to get delayed.
Real quick, before we talk about delay, because I see a lot of people in chat saying like, "Oh, they must have used AI to cut art and whatnot." Like, no. Don't try and pawn this off on fucking AI. This is intentional human shit. AI is all this is color swaps to existing art. That's not AI. That is 100% human.
You know how you fix this and you make this problem go away is you make it right with the person you stole from. You go over and above paying them a shitload of money to make sure that they do not sue you. You hire them on as a consultant for your company and tell everyone we have fixed the problem. This person now is hired on by us and this game is moving forward and they are working with us now. That is the only way you can fix it.
No. I don't. Well, maybe for Ubisoft, they may think that, but if
no, not Ubisoft.
I mean, not Ubisoft. I meant Bungie.
Man,
they're like
Ubisoft keeps catching strays from you tonight.
Because he's playing games while he's talking.
They're playing. They're pretty much the same thing. But no, I don't trust that because this company absolutely holds animosity towards you for not coming to them. Remember, we just got Nintendo, who basically made a new changes to their terms of service to where you're required to go to them and you can't sue them anymore. They hold animosity for this. They absolutely hold animosity towards Anti-Rail for coming out with this.
Yeah, but their back's against the wall right now.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't trust them. If they hire you, how you think they're gonna treat you within the company?
Oh no. I mean, they're gonna pay you a guaranteed contract. Hire you.
Why would
it's gonna be a lot of money?
A company that's wouldn't trust them, bro. Like, why would that make? I saw people saying they need to hire the artists. And I'm like, why, bro? Like, why would you want to go work for a company
that stole from you?
No.
Right.
Hire them on as a consultant.
I wouldn't do that either. They just stole all your shit.
Company that stole from you.
No.
You don't smash. Don't build
money talks, man. If
they hire you, they swoon you, and later you come up missing and none of us know it.
I agree. I agree with
what if this company came to you and they're like, "We got a deal for you. We're going to pay you a $5 million sign-on fee,
and sell your shit,
and you will be signed, and you will be in the credits of the game. You don't have to do shit."
They stole your shit.
They stole it, but then you get paid when they got found out. Would you say no, Kata? Would you say no to that?
Yes, I would say no.
$5 million.
Yes, I would say no.
If I felt I could get more money suing you,
let's be real now.
No.
This is like what?
Let's be honest.
Art. What the fuck is this old ass art doing anyway? If you don't make money off of it now, then don't be crying in your tweets saying, "Oh, I'm tired of not making any money for this." That was what they were saying. They were acting like it was broken in their tweets, bro. You either take the money.
That's fair, but I'm not going to make excuses for Bungie stealing their shit, though.
Yeah, nobody's making excuses for Bungie stealing their shit. But we're talking about art that's been out there for years. If you don't collect money on it now, then what the fuck is the point?
I disagree with that, Jake.
Look, if you've been working on your art, like if you're an artist, you want to cash in at some point in time on your art. If you've been making art, and somebody like says, "Hey man, I like your art. Your art looks pretty good." You want to cash in on that. That's the problem. You want to cash in on that at some point in time. And so how do you say no? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you say no to that?
I mean, I feel like everyone here's talking a big game.
Like, yeah, here's $5 million.
Comes to you with $5 million, you'd be like, fuck.
You have to separate business and personal, and that's just straight up business. You were done dirty business-wise, but it's business nonetheless.
You gotta understand. Smash is arguing this because for $10 and $5, he'll go wee in his chair. All right, so
I agree with Smash.
So $5 million sounds real good to him. He's gonna say yes.
I mean, I showed my foot the other day for a Red Boy.
Exactly.
Kata gave the.
Yo, y'all be acting like y'all got $5 million and you just tossing that shit around like it ain't nothing.
No. What I was saying,
if you got bread like that, like you got money like that, okay, yeah, sure. But a lot of people don't have money, especially if you're a struggling artist. You don't have bread like that. You don't.
What I was saying was, if I feel I can get more suing you than taking $5 million from you, then I'm saying no.
If that's
well,
the case,
there's always a negotiation. Like, all right, how much you want, bruh? You know,
you go
how much you want?
Negotiation table. You talk to a lawyer. The lawyer presents the possibilities. You take that to Bungie and you make a deal.
I think y'all are insane if you think that it's going to be anywhere near the millions. Bungie's going to try to get away with this.
If it's nowhere near the millions, this is a loss. That's a loss.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Smash is right.
They need to overwhelm this chick with money.
I mean, they have a pretty solid, easy win. They admitted. Oh, for the people in the chat, by the way, who's saying maybe it was AI, they admitted to doing it. Like they admitted it.
That's off the table now.
So AI is off the table. Like that's not even a discussion. We're not talking about that. Like they admitted it. So, which was interesting to me.
Yes.
Because you would think that legal would not tell them to admit it.
But
was
I guess
too
egregious.
It was so blatant that they couldn't deny it. So now they're trying to go the other route of, well, we're going to do the right thing. It was somebody who doesn't work here anymore, which nobody believes, by the way.
Right.
Yeah. That was always fishy. I mean, they're used to this, getting away with this shit. This is like the fourth time now. They're to this shit.
The 5th.
Exactly. And people who don't give a damn, you can't do deals with devils. Smash, you should know this better than anyone. You invested into a project and the guy told you to go fuck yourself. You've been stabbed in the back in the past. That artist would no doubt be stabbed in the back by Bungie, who has a track record of being a backstabbing team.
Oh man, I have some business deals gone wrong in the past.
Yeah,
my good friend.
I call it the Amico disaster, Atreus. Search that up. You might find something.
You and everybody else. What I will say is that I think what this is going to be is a one-time offer to try to effectively silence this
gag
person.
Order.
It's gonna be anywhere between probably 50 to 100 grand for universal rights to the art that they already stole.
No.
You saying no? I guarantee you.
Bungie is going to do that.
Here's what it is.
That is Bungie's in the ocean with the money. They spent $3.6 billion for Bungie, and
this is a company that stole art. You really think that they're fucking they're cheap, bro? Come on,
they're not cheap.
They're going to offer $100,000 at the max. They're going to be like, listen,
they are not going to try to give her.
They're absolutely cheap. We were just talking about how they haven't paid the previous artists they stole from.
Here's the thing: they are cheap, but this is an instance where they can't be. That's the difference.
Yeah,
Man,
guys, you have to understand.
The previous artists they stole from after a year plus.
Do you know that person's name? Do you remember that person at all? Because I don't personally. This went ultra mainstream, and this holds the balance of their next major project.
Hundreds upon hundreds of millions of dollars have been funneled into this game on top of billions of dollars for the studio purchase. They need to make this work. They can't.
Can I say one thing? Let me say one thing. This artist has openly admitted they're poor. Number one, all right. Yep. By that's their words. Nobody else. So they've shown to everybody that they will take anything. I guarantee you. Bungie's lawyers knows this. Bungie is going to set a one-time offer. They're going to put it on the table. I guarantee she takes it, and they're going to make her make a statement saying that all is well, things have been made right, and everybody's going to move on. I'm telling you, if you think it's going to be millions of dollars, you're out of your mind. It's going to be $100 grand at best, because they're going to be like, listen, $100,000. We get universal rights.
Is nothing in 2025.
It is when you are a poor fucking artist who just admitted that you have nothing.
Exactly.
I guarantee you, she's never made anywhere close to $100,000 on her.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. She could turn this shit around. If they come to her with a bullshit ass deal, she could turn this shit out, make another tweet saying, "Hey, they're undercutting me after stealing my art. I'm starting a GoFundMe to sue them."
Thank you.
I don't know.
And it'll go viral.
Hypnotic is right. Hypnotic is right. They're gonna come to him with a bullshit offer, but I'm going to court. I'm going to court with that bullshit offer. I'm not taking that. Hell no. Hell no. I can get more from you. I can get way more from you. All right. Hypnotic is wrong. They're gonna come. All right. Hypnotic is right. They're gonna come to him with a bullshit offer. All right. They're gonna try that. That's their own. They always start with the bullshit. All right.
Of course.
They come back and so I think they're gonna come to him with bullshit, and then they're gonna, hey, you want to negotiate?
This is not going to.
You want to go to court?
This is not going to a court.
Yeah, this is
going
going to a courtroom.
This is.
100%.
It's not. I don't think it's going to. I think it's going to be handled.
I know. I agree. I think they will settle no matter what. This will never reach it to a court.
Well, they're going to say, show us you got the balls to take us to court. That's what
100%. 100%.
What Cassie was saying, I could guarantee. I mean, if I can raise $60K against Alyssa, this person could raise $500,000 against Bungie.
Do you think that would make Bungie back down if they see that a massive fucking GoFundMe?
I don't think it would make them back down, but I think they know that they fucked up royally. They might act all tough, like, "Oh no, we got this," but they know deep down they've already
JT, what's the settlement amount, man? What's the settlement amount then?
It's got to be at least.
What do you think?
Oh my God! At least I was gonna say like 2.5 million, 3 million minimum. This is literally the game.
Out of your mind.
Well, hold on. What are you asking?
What did we say? Flowrider just settled with. Oh wait, Flowrider just made $82 million off of brand
music. That's different.
Oh,
he was making money off his music. She wasn't making money off her art.
Listen,
remember,
Bungie,
Smash. Pronouns in bio. Path of least resistance type of artistic creator, tough on the surface, all style, no substance. They'll probably bend the knee and take the money.
Bro, listen, Bungie has just as good lawyers as anybody else, and that has multi-millions of dollars.
Sure.
I guarantee that the message that was sent out there, the admission went through legal. It had to, right? So legal said that it's okay for that to go through. If you think these guys don't have some form of way they could bury this woman or go through some sort of loophole, anything, they have something. But at the very least, of course, everybody wants to settle it out of court. They see a poor artist who's not making money, who has admitted that they're poor. They're going to give her a one-time decent offer for any normal human being. And again, just like you guys were saying before, do you not think $1, $2, $3 million is a lot of money? For $100,000 is a lot of money for a lot of people. So don't be surprised if somebody like her would take $100,000 or negotiate their way up to $200,000 or something.
Especially depending on where her life is right now.
Women don't even negotiate salaries in the office. You think
they don't? That's what I'm saying. Like that's not. I'm telling you, man. This is
not making sense.
There's going to be one conversation that's going to happen.
You're making very good points.
Two lawyers.
Yes, you're making very good points. I'm not arguing you. I'm just saying this is one of those situations that I would not be shocked if there is a ruling that is insanity where people be like, wow, that's a lot of money. Like, because this is crazy.
I'll beg you an even more interesting question. I'll beg you an even more interesting. Okay, so think about this. So let's say she gets an offer, right? She says no. And then she's like you guys said, they start to GoFundMe, whatever. Let's say she raises $500, $600, $700,000. What's the chances a woman who is super poor that now has access to $700,000 actually takes that money and goes sues Bungie with it?
She'll stab you in the back like
I got a pushback for you, Hypno.
I think pretty good because
according to the rules of GoFundMe and everything like that, there's loopholes around that.
Well,
I think pretty good still, though.
I mean,
I got a pushback for
she
you.
may be poor, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't have a job and isn't like you would assume.
I'm not saying she's fucking homeless, but do you know what I'm saying? Like anyway. I get it. Atreus, what are you gonna say?
I was gonna say I got a pushback for you though, because I'm mainly on your side. But what if she consults with a lawyer who pretty much says, well, they already admitted to guilt, so they know they're gonna lose the lawsuit. Why would they ever want to take it to court? It doesn't matter about.
I agree.
It doesn't matter about whether or not she has the balls to do it. If she even speaks to a lawyer, they're going to say you're going to win. So it's just name the dollar amount.
This is like
the easiest case get a lawyer immediately. That's 100%.
It is the easiest case. Like there's no reason why you wouldn't do it. Just take them for everything.
That's why I'm asking what the dollar amount is. What is the dollar amount?
Well, there is a reason you wouldn't do it because do you want to go through a multi-year legal process in order for you to get potential money, or do you want to take money now and be done with it?
And that's what I'm saying. It depends on where her life is. If she
fucking smashed JTs in like what, a year into your lawsuit,
we're approaching a year so far, and
you haven't even got past the fucking motion to dismiss yet.
Yo, if you're a struggling artist, like this is it. This could be it for you. You could make your mint right now. If you're a struggling artist, so what is your money? What is your number?
What is the number for this situation? Location, because we're all throwing numbers out. 100K in fucking LA, nothing. 100K in fucking Alabama, that's life changing. Well, we also got to know where this artist even is.
Right. No. So that's a great point. Like, what is the number for this artist? The artist might have a different number than what we got in mind.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
You got to be careful too, because the way they admitted it was worded that way for a reason. They didn't admit that they stole it by the current people who are there. They admitted that someone who used to work there did it, and it went past their checks and balances. And once they found it, they are now trying to address it to try to look like the good guys in front of any potential lawsuit that might come their way. So they worded it in a very specific way for a reason.
Good point. And they also read from a piece of paper with a statement. They didn't just talk about it. So you're right.
It's the same statement. It's already all been through their legal system. So they know exactly what they're doing. And this is why I'm telling you, it's going to be a one-time offer. They're going to be in the same room, one-time offer, and she will take it. I will bet money on it. I don't
know anything about this person, so it's hard for me to know what they're going to do. I'm just saying that this is a lottery ticket.
You know something about this person. You know they're poor.
One at a time.
True. I heard them both. And my point still stands is this is a lottery ticket with potential infinite money behind it. And it's one of those, you're going to get something if you take them to court. And that something will probably be equal to whatever maximum amount they're going to throw at you right away. So I think it would be very dumb to just take what they throw to you. That's just my opinion on it, though, especially after what they've admitted.
I don't think anyone's arguing whether it's dumb or not. They're arguing whether or not the person would do it based on their situation, based on the little we know. Here's what we know. Female, starving artist. What do we know about women? They don't negotiate for shit. What do we know about artists? Most of them are retarded. They good art and shit, but they ain't got the fucking.
But when it comes to law, if they get a good lawyer, the lawyer might represent them and be like, "Hey,
man,
I know what you're thinking, but here's what you probably should do."
A lot of retarded leftists believed in street justice, social justice up until like a few months ago. Now all of a sudden they back to the legal system. So
right.
Plus, to be fair, she cannot claim that they profited on anything from her work because the game's not even out yet. So they haven't profited anything. They haven't made any money.
No. I disagree with
that.
I'm saying in terms of arguing for a bigger payout based off how much the company might have made from it. Now you can argue intent because they intended to release the game based off that.
But what about pre-orders?
Also, what about Sony?
I guess pre-orders
money?
count.
Like if Sony said, "Yo,
are pre-orders live?
They're live, right? Start the game." Like there's 50 million they already got.
Yeah,
and they could also speak to the projections and expectations for sales too. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can speak to intent. You can speak to okay, well, we know it might do XYZ based off pre-orders, whatever. You speak to that.
Be fair, the way court works with how long it takes, by the time it gets to that point, they'll already have sales for it and they'll know.
That's true as well.
Yeah,
but
here's what we do know. You don't look like this unless something bad is really happening.
Yo,
I'm telling you.
I was just about to say the game was going to crash regardless, right? Because aesthetically and the way that it looked, it was getting crushed. Arc Raiders came out a week later with their little beta and completely crushed this game. So it was already cooked. So now we know that you're stealing shit. You're done regardless. So I mean, they're in a lose-lose situation. If they don't pay the artists as much as they need to,
I got a devil's advocate question though.
I mean, if they drop it again, they're still cooked. Like it's ridiculous.
I got a devil's advocate question. Mm-hmm. I mean, Power Worlds kind of stole some shit too. So niggas was playing that.
No, they didn't.
Atreus, you really think that like Concord 2.0 was gonna make any sort of money?
No, I'm saying, okay, hold on. Let me preface my question then. If the game was good and people went through this whole plagiarism situation, do we really think gamers would not play the game because they stole assets?
Oh, it's not about gamers not playing the game because they stole assets. That's just you're making the leap that gamers are going to play the game to begin with. When motherfucking Doom Dark Ages,
I know I am making that leap. I'm saying if the game was good, is what I'm asking. If the game actually turned out to be good, do you think gamers would actually care that they stole artwork?
I think gamers give a fuck.
Okay,
you could tell me like right now that the next Legend of Zelda game steals assets. To be like, I'm gonna fuck. I like Zelda. Like exactly. I want the artist to get paid.
Everybody's answer is gonna be that.
But I'm gonna still play motherfucking Zelda.
Yeah, that's between the artist and the fucking company. That's not the gamer only cares about how good the game is. But there are a lot of people that are going to, just out of principle, whether it's temporarily or permanently, they won't buy it. Out of principle, some people, not everybody. There are some people out there that are like that. But again, you can argue: is it a high amount? Is it a low amount? See, the issue is that this game was not going to be a mainstream game anyway. So any customer you lose is going to be detrimental. That every one customer you lose is huge. You're not a fucking Monster Hunter. Like you're not going to pull in 1.4 million concurrent. It's not going to happen. So every customer counts. So even if you are only losing, let's say 50, 100, 200, whatever. That's still 200 monetizable people that you could have had in your player base that you desperately needed, and also too, in terms of Power World, it's not even close to the same, bro. Like Power World, yes, obviously there are some creatures they have there that are heavily inspired by certain, creatures that are in Pokemon. But again, it's heavily inspired. It's not one-to-one copy. It's not like they have this is as if Power World had a fucking Mewtwo in their game and it called it Mewtwo. Because that's literally what they did. They put in a graphic with the fucking person's logo. They put in a graphic.
The Mewtwo name was faded out a little bit.
Yeah, no, it says the graphic says Adelph Logistics Company or whatever. It's the same. It's literally a 1-for-1. That would be if they took the Pokemon and put it in Power World. Like, yup, that's Pikachu. No, you can't do that, obviously. So
this is the face of a man who is completely and utterly fucked. The face that inspired a generation of gaming.
Inspired.
Yeah, this is rough, man. I'm telling you, I have like 8 screenshots. This was the best one of just all the different kind of looks.
And you watched? How many of you guys watched this interview? Because I watched this interview.
I watched the whole thing.
My goodness, was this guy squirming and knowing that everything that was resting on his career is just gone to shit.
I actually thought it was honestly extremely unprofessional because the way that he was acting on the live stream. This is a live stream.
It's like not taking it seriously.
Not at all. With customers that are in your chat. These are customers, right? These are not just like random fucking fans. Like these are customers. These are people who are saying, I want to know more about your game because I'm most likely going to buy it. There was people in there absolutely trolling them. Yes, you could see the plagiarism makes me a god just comments nonstop 24/7. But you can also see comments in there from people that wanted to know more information. And this motherfucker almost never spoke, was constantly looking down or at the screen or on his phone or whatever. And he always looked pissed. There was even some comments, I think, towards the 45 minute mark of the live stream, closer to the end, where they were saying like, oh yeah, Joseph looks real excited to be here. Like people were catching on to the energy because he was putting it out there. Look at his face. This is the face he had for 80% of the stream, aside from the beginning where you had to read the legal letter. So these are your customers, and you're out here not even bothering trying to save the last few customers that you have that are interested. You're just projecting your anger and your energy out there because you got caught.
Game devs don't give a fuck. That's why they're game developers and not business people. They're fucking retarded.
Yeah, facts. But if you have your customers in the chat and they're looking to spend money or ask more questions about your product, you should man up a little bit. Bro, you will only live for an hour. You mean to tell me you couldn't hide that shit for an hour?
For an hour?
That live stream should have never been greenlit.
What do they tell you? They tried
they
to probably
put out a video.
No, but I think they tried to. I'm sure they did because they wanted to show gameplay clips. They wanted to show everything. And the live stream seemed like it was kind of just randomly done. The audio was terrible in the beginning. The setup was horrible. They kept having issues. It's almost as if they weren't prepared. So this is a really prime example. It's like, bro, leave your shit at the door. Like when you're at work, you guys hear this all the time. I'm sure they tell you leave your personal problems at the door. Leave that shit at the door. If you got yelled at by your bosses, you got in trouble, whatever the fuck, leave it at the door. But this guy didn't do it, bro. He's on a company live stream representing this product, and he has all of his personal shit on his face. Like all of it. He's not hiding anything.
Well, I think he knows how bad they fucked up. And it's kind of really hard
he
to
knows
hide
how bad
that.
he's going to be unemployed.
Yeah.
He's
this
done.
is going to follow him and stick to him for forever. Like this is you can't.
It's a bad rap, I'm sure. Did you guys hear all the awkward silences in the stream?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It was so weird.
There was like
with them bringing up the
20-second gaps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's because what they were doing was they were reading questions that they already had pre-prepared, but I'm sure they were told not to say anything outside of what the questions were asked, because people were saying like this conversation feels so unnatural, like almost as if these guys never met each other. And it's because they can't talk like they normally probably would have. This entire live stream was legally held down by, I'm sure legal was there, like probably guiding them behind the camera, because there was multiple people there, behind the camera, and one was asking questions and the other was setting up the stream. So I don't know. It's pretty bad. But back to the question, I don't think anybody answered it. Delay? No delay? And if so, how long?
Delay for sure. They have to delay it.
I don't know.
It would have to be to 2026. I don't know.
It depends on if they reach an agreement with the person. So it's hard to forecast that. I don't know.
How about don't release it?
What's that?
How about don't release it?
Cancel it.
Well, they have to. They have to release it.
I mean, releasing it is just going to be as worse as canceling.
If they release Concord, they're releasing
stolen assets from the makers of Halo and Destiny.
The bad thing about this is charging what $30 or $40 they said for it is everyone knows it's going to go free to play. So what you're doing is paying for early access to this game, and nobody's going to fall for that shit. They're not going to. It's such a broken sales model. I don't know what the hell they're thinking, what they're smoking.
Did they announce a price for this game yet? I don't think they did.
Said it's not going to be a full price game, and estimates were somewhere between $30 and $40 for it.
Didn't Jason Schreier say that? I think 40 bucks. Was it
Can't
him?
recall. I thought it was
think
Paul
I think it was
Tassi.
him. Oh, maybe it was Tassi. You're right. I'm sorry. Maybe it was Tassi. My bad.
I mean, are they pretty much the same person?
So
Right.
yeah, you're right. So let's say there is no settlement. No delay.
No settlement. There's a delay. There's
How
definitely a
long?
delay.
How long has this game been in development? Since 16?
Long time. At least a year.
What?
No, I think
Way
longer.
more than a
No,
year.
let me see.
At least
How
a year.
long has Marathon? 4 years. The game has been worked on over 4 years. It began around 2019.
What is up with Sony in this shit?
Well, wait, that's 6 years.
Yeah, 2019.
So,
but
at
keep in
least
mind,
a year.
they started development in 2019. This artist made this art in 2017.
Fucking hell.
So
They're
since the
cooked.
beginning of this game's inception, they've
It
had
predates it.
access.
Yep.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yep. That's
All right.
hilarious. I love that.
Final thoughts on this clusterfuck that is known as Bungie.
I wouldn't be
well,
surprised if
excellent.
Sony fires this guy.
All right,
Yeah.
that's yours.
At all.
What else? Anybody else?
Let's
Yeah.
play. When instead of playing this game, should probably play Arc Raiders because that looks like it would be a lot more fun anyway.
You would say that shit. Atreus?
Yeah, free Tory.
Free
the
Tory.
fuck?
Nice. Cassie?
Real quick, who the fuck gifted me this game in the chat?
Oh
This
no.
fucking game called Carnal Instinct, an
Oh,
adult RPG where you enter the world of Cebu as a slave. Who thought to gift me this shit, motherfucker?
They meant to gift that to Kata.
Yeah, wrong person, I guess.
You want something funny? So I got gifted a game as well. I do have a name, Benjathan. And the game he gifted me was Fuda, Fix, Dick, Dine, and Dash.
Oh my god!
I don't even want to know.
You know it's the
Dick,
same
Dine, and
motherfucker
Dash.
too.
There you go. Nice. Thank you, Benjathan. Thank you.
Put that motherfucker in the goon log.
Goon log. Although shout out to No Hearts Left. He says, sorry for the lateness. Congrats on the marriage, Sheepsidian, and then gifted me for some reason after congratulating Sheep. Darksiders 3.
It happens.
God damn, like, bro, at least if you're gonna gift games, at least make them good games. They don't have to be expensive games. I prefer the, small little fun experiences. But god damn.
He also gifted
If I get
Blade,
gifted
Blade
one more
Chimera.
foot game, dude, I don't know how I'm gonna react.
Blade Chimera. What is that? Never heard of that. Oh, it's a Metroidvania style game with demon hunters and demon hunters and demons. Cool. That looks different.
Somebody gifted me. I think the game was called Hitler's Feet or some shit like that. It's ridiculous.
Hitler's Feet.
Wow.
You serious?
That might not be the actual name of the
Wow.
game. It's something like that.
That's insane. Final thoughts. Sheep, DA. What are we thinking?
Look, the only thing I hope is that the artist gets properly compensated because to me, that's the main thing. These artists, they put a lot. Look, I'm a writer. I write, and I want my work to be properly compensated. If I do a book, or if I do a movie, or if I do a video game, whatever I do, I want to be properly compensated for that. All right, and these artists not being properly compensated for the work that they're doing. That's the problem, all right? It's such a bad situation. And the thing is Hollywood, video games, AAA gaming, they have not taken care of these artists, the people that they get all of their creativity from. And so I hope that the artist is taken care of. That's my main thing. As long as the artist is taken care of, I don't care look, Bungie can do whatever they want to do as long as they handle business. All right. Take care of the person that you got all of this work from and you stole from. You stole it. Let's be honest. You stole it. But at least you took care of them, and you gave them proper compensation for what it is that they gave you. All right. They gave you a great look, whatever the case may be. Give them what they deserve. To me, that's all I'm looking for. So as long as they get what they're getting, I'm good.
Pretty fair. Pretty based. Sheep.
All that the sympathetic stuff, that's all well and good. I'm the kind of person, I'm so anti, corporal that I'm just happy seeing Bungie fall again. I'm happy seeing a lot of these major companies fall, like primarily because they think that they have a monopoly on people's entertainment. They think they have a monopoly on what people consume, I guess you can call it. It's like it's Bungie taking an L, Nintendo's taking L's, Sony's taking L's, Microsoft and Xbox are taking L's. Everybody, all of the major players are taking L's because they've lost touch with their audience. They've lost touch with who got them there in the first place. And I'm over here just laughing my ass off because you got people just out of the fucking woodworks. You got the Valheim crew, you got the Power World crew, you got the Expedition 33 crew, like all of these people who are just like these small knit group of people who are just passionate about what they're doing. Toby Fox, another one, just very passionate about what they're doing, and they're getting their names out there because the people who we used to trust, a lot of people are waking up to the fact that they never give a fuck about us at all. Like they never give a fuck. They just said money, money, money. That's all they wanted, and there's never any give back. It's always give us, and I'm just happy seeing them take these L's. Now, will they dwindle down to those like crazy ass? Was it journals company that just closed down? Was it IGN? Not IGN, but
Polygon.
Yeah, Polygon. Like
Polygon didn't close down. They got bought out.
Oh, or bought out. Well, it was another one like a couple years back. But
Giant Bomb shut down and then they bought themselves out.
Yeah, if they Polygon themselves, I will laugh my ass off even harder. That's where I am right now. Like, go to fucking hell, Bungie. That's it. That's my statement.
I'd say that's accurate.
It's valid.
Any other final thoughts? Everybody
PC.